Saros. As soon as you move your limbs, you can feel.
As soon as you move your limbs, it becomes colder. What I am saying is that this isn't comforting.
We are currently suburban homeowners. We'd love to be sailing cruisers, but for now, we're in the middle. The first order of business before we can head out to the lake this weekend is inverter installation. And Steffan got right to it.
Yeah, so I'm preparing to install the inverter. I'm sure I've forgotten some kind of connector that I'll need that
I hope not,
will like
because I need to have access to my computer at all times.
scuttle the whole thing.
Just kidding. So he's getting that all set up so we can use our computers when we're not at the marina, which is where we are right now, and all that fun jazz. Anyway, so
Well, and generate.
yeah, and just
have some AC power courtesy of
yeah.
solar.
So maybe we could use our microwave. Yeah, because we're gonna set up solar panels and stuff too. So maybe we can use a microwave, or we could use other of our things that we just plug in that are AC. Anyway, I'm going to be working on getting the shelves that I cut for in here in. There's a couple little tweaks we need to do. Anyway, later. So it's dusk here in Minnesota. This is what the boat looks like right now. Porque Steffan está trabajando en la. So it's kind of a mess, but he's wrapping the wire running up so we can at least have our cabin back for tonight, because that's where he's currently working. That's where we sleep. And everything else is out here. I cooked dinner tonight like that.
Before cooking dinner, I did get the shelves for the hanging locker converted to pantry cupboard installed. I had done all of the measuring and prep and cutting at home, so all I really had to do for the install was to put in the brackets and then whip the shelves into place.
They're all in, but because of this little jobby here, I didn't really think about. You can see that spot here, I put some soap on it to mark where it hits. That's where it hits, so I'm going to cut out a chunk out of here tomorrow so we can get the door shut and locked, and then I can officially reorganize.
The next day, Steffan was back at it, finishing up the inverter install before we headed out.
What are you going to do, Steffan?
Well, this is mounted now to the underside here, because there's actually quite a bit of room in here and there's actually good airflow.
Originally we were going to mount it back.
Yeah, I was going to put it up there, which, you know, that I figured was like the spot to do it, but it would look really ugly. And
yeah.
Anyway, so this is good. I'm probably going to add a fan in here to
make sure there's air circulation.
To keep good airflow. But it's already, I mean, all the venting is already in place. It will already passively vent. And it means a shorter run for the DC cables, which is good. But this piece that it's mounted to is really long and ungainly.
Yeah.
But there's really no reason for that to all be one piece, so I'm going to cut it.
You're sure? And then it'll be supported, because once you cut it, there's no support in the middle of it.
There is support. There's support here, here, there, 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 there. There's multiple places where it's supported.
Okay. Trust you. It's your side of the bed, so.
I'm not going to be falling through the bed.
We are on our way to Raspberry Bay tonight. We wanted to go to Outer Island, but weather's going to be bad tomorrow, so I'm making dinner. We were going to grill, but we're not ready to grill while underway, so burgers, toasting up some buns, some fixing, and some broccoli. So yeah, so while Steffan is driving, cooking. Last night we had some storms, or a storm. It's mainly just rain and stuff. Tonight there's going to be more storms, right?
Yep.
but we are heading on over to, where, Stockton?
Yeah, the east side of the sand spit should be really well protected. The only concern would be that it's probably going to be crowded, but if we get there early, then
We might have a better chance. Anyway, we are sailing. Get the jib out.
hold out jib.
I don't know how fast we're going. How fast are we going?
About 3 knots.
Only 3 knots, but it's better than nothing. We got, if we motored over there, it'd take about 2.5 hours, so we'll just sail, and if we're feeling pressure that we might not get the spot, we'll motor, I guess. We don't even have the main out yet, though, so anyway.
The jib lasted approximately 15 minutes before we ran completely out of wind. Steffan did his best, however, to try to get as much wind as possible in the sail, to no avail.
Hanging out with Aunt Kelly. We're going to call it the Raspberry Bay Grasshopper. So it's clearly warmed up to Kelly.
We're buds. Considering I used to be deathly afraid of grasshoppers, it don't bother me anymore. I'm bigger than that.
Once we arrived at Julian Bay, it was time to make Saros's new name official.
We are currently going to do the official renaming ceremony of Emmy to Saros. What we're going to do first is the unnaming ceremony.
For the unnaming, we read the ceremonial words to the gods of the seas and presented them with an ingot, with Saros' old name, Emmy, on it. Once we offered our ingot, we poured a bottle of champagne from east to west as instructed. Then it was on to the renaming. To each point of wind, north, south, east, and west, we read the appropriate verse and poured over an offering of champagne to each god, finalizing with a toast to Saros.
To Saros.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Saros! Yay! We actually illegally put her name on beforehand, but it said as long as you covered it, it was cool. So hopefully the sea gods have forgiven us. We did give them a bottle and a half of champagne, so
Pretty sweet logo. Wonder who designed that.
I don't know. That'd be neat. I like the moon. We're lucky there's not a cat in there somehow too.
Just a Sharpie one in. We were going to do this, so we're in Julian Bay on Stockton Island. We were going to do this on Cat Island,
Yeah.
which is a little north of here. But the anchorages there are a little more sketchy, and we may have up to 55 knots of wind tonight. I mean, the reason we're here is because it should be coming from that direction, but they're expecting storms tonight, and I'd rather not be in a marginal anchorage in an outer island that I've never anchored at before. We've anchored here before, not with this boat, I don't think.
Actually, this whole weekend we were planning on being somewhere else.
Yeah, we were planning on going out to outer island, but this was not the weekend to do that. We had a good storm last night, and we're gonna get, I think, a bigger one tonight. But
I'll try to record it.
I have like 9-to-1 scope, over 8-to-1 scope anyway. And the holding here is perfect. We might be here by ourselves, but that's okay.
I mean, don't you kind of want to just try it? I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
The worst that happens is we get pushed further out where it's even windier. I mean, here's my plan. Mm-hmm. When the storm hits, it's going to wake us up anyway.
Yep.
So
it did last night.
Be ready to leave the keys in the engine. Be ready just to jump up, start everything, and
start motoring.
And just motor. See, if we motor towards the anchor and into the wind, that'll take the strain off the road. Okay. And I'll have the wet weather gear and everything all ready to go. Be just ready. Mm-hmm. But in reality, this close to the shore and behind all the trees and the sand dune and everything, there's no fetch. So and the wind really should just go straight over the top of us. So.
Yeah, you can
We'll
see
see.
like this is a very protected bay. I'll put the chart up that shows where we actually are in relation to things. But
Yeah, this is the best bay in the Apostle Islands to ride out where this storm may be coming from. Famous last words.
so another thing that happened this weekend is we're getting a Dodger and Bimini put in, and they just fit our framing, and then measured for our canvas, like took the patterns for the canvas. Obviously no canvas yet, and that's why we have straps and everything up, holding up the stuff for the Bimini, but we did bring a tarp because we knew that might be there, so we have a well shade. So we're super pumped for that. He put down the framing for the Dodger, so that's down for now. And because of our winch situation, we have to have a little bit of a different... Ooh, our friend is escaping. Bye! He's over there on the line.
He's branching out from the hat.
Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully soon we'll actually have an official Dodger and Bimini in Captain Blue, a couple weeks.
I think.
But for now we have this lovely tarp, and it works. It's shade.
I think next time we come up here, we'll be fitting the canvas.
Woohoo! It's warm enough to swim. So are you gonna dive on the anchor, babe? Maybe.
I probably won't dive on it, but I'll attempt to observe it from the surface.
He has prescription goggles so he can see. He's kind of blind without his glasses.
Cold.
I know it's cold, that's why I think you're insane. And it's not that warm. Just looking for the anchor. There's the line. He typically uses it right where loses it where the chain starts, because you can't. I mean, it's pretty clear, but you can't. It's dark bottom. Did you see it?
Yep, I see exactly where it dropped. I see exactly where it dragged until it set, which was only probably 10 feet or something. And then we're kind of how we got pushed around, to the current wind direction.
Yeah.
But when it starts blowing tonight, it's perfect.
It is? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yay! So a worthwhile jump in the water.
Huh?
Worthwhile to jump in the water.
Yeah, it's actually,
It's cold,
Steffan. It's cold. But right at the surface, it's actually pretty warm. Or it feels warm in comparison, but as soon as you move your limbs, you can feel...
As soon as you move your limbs, it becomes
When I
colder.
first jumped in, I was tracking my breathing. It was like...
Yeah, that's why people die in cold water, because
Yeah, I
it
know.
shocks your body so much.
And then my breathing slowed down, and now I feel fine. I mean, it's still cold, but...
I don't know if you can really see it. There's a lot of lightning happening right now. So the wind's not bad though. Steffan keeps on thinking the wind is going to shift, but so far, no shift. Just a lot of lightning.
I'm just really surprised the wind hasn't shifted around.
It's supposed to shift from the west, so
It's still coming from the east, which
yeah.
is really weird.
We're supposed to completely turn. Like we're really close. We're anchored pretty close. We're in a
coming from the west.
We're in a great anchorage, like we said earlier, really close to shore enough, but we're prepared to roll around. There's a lot of other boats in this area, probably for the same reason we are, because it's supposed to be a good anchorage for this kind of dealio. Anyway, if anything else exciting happens, I'll let you know. Okay, yeah, it's storming now. We're healing over. It went to like nothing, and I'm like worried about tornadoes and shit. Okay, so this is night shot. I don't really know. You can see the rain better. Yeah, night shot isn't very good. You can't see it. But in night shot you can't see it, but we're like keeled over. It's raining hard. I'm a little freaked out by it,
Steffan says it's fine. We're tipping over. You can hear the weather service in the background.
The current time is 9:35 Central Daylight Time.
So at our house in Forest Lake, they had like a tornado warning and a thunderstorm warning earlier, so there was some hail there. No hail here. I mean, this is probably a different cell, I don't really know. But we knew this might be coming, so I just need to calm the fuck down, right? It's all good. I do this at home too, by the way. So the only difference between this, me freaking out here and at home, is that like I'm not freaking out about my garden and I was freaking out about my garden earlier when Mom and Sophie called and said there's tornado warnings there and stuff. And hail, they actually got a little bit of hail there. And I was like, oh my god, the plants, and they're in the basement. And then I'm like, hopefully a tornado doesn't get you. But what I am saying is that this isn't comforting. But
The lack of comfort from the night before carried over to the next day. We had a choppy, wet ride back to the marina. Motoring against the wind resulted in a long ride back. But such is life. Thanks for hanging out with us today. See you next week.